Hey guys, hope all of us are doing great. My name is Ernest, and this is Ernest Sciences and Mathematics TV channel. So in this specific video, we're going to look at gaseous exchange mechanism, and basically we're going to concentrate on the intake of air that we refer to as inhalation. So therefore, I've just given two specific illustration for intake and outtake of air from the lungs. And of course, I've just given these two illustrations in order to remind us of the previous discussion that we had on different plan of or different makeup of the lungs, which are going to facilitate or play an overall role in gaseous exchange. Now, I mentioned that the lung basically is protected by this physeal pleura, which is going to be the inner layer that is lining, of course, creating a lining with the lungs. And of course, we are going to have the parietal pleura, which is going to be the outer layer that is going to create a lining for the lungs, this outer particular cavity. So therefore, we said as well that this particular section of the lungs are going to be contained in the chest cavity, or of course, what we refer to as the thoracic cavity. And of course, they are going to be enclosed in this specific layer that I'm encircling. So therefore, we're going to see that there is going to be a role which is going to be played by the rib cage or the thoracic cavity, and the specific lower section that we refer to as a diaphragm, in trying to influence the amount of pressure and the volume of this thoracic cavity. And this is going to play a vital role in inhalation and exhalation of our gases respectively. So in this particular video, I'm going to look at the first process. And of course, we're going to see that this is going to be facilitated by the pressure differences I've said inside the lungs and the atmospheric environment outside, of course, which is going to be playing the vital role. Now, in this particular case, we're going to see that the diaphragm is going to move downwards, or we're going to be able to describe this process of the diaphragm as contracting, and therefore the thoracic cage is going to move out and, or rather out and upward, and therefore the external intercostal muscles, these are the muscles which are going to surround this rib cage, as we're going to see. They're going to contract in this specific order to allow for this specific expansion of the lungs. So therefore, we're going to see that this specific process is going to increase the volume of the thoracic cavity, and of course, this is going to decrease the pressure inside the lungs. This is going to, of course, lead to the movement of air from the external environment into the lungs, since the pressure inside this specific chest cavity will have decreased, and therefore that is going to facilitate the inner movement of air into the this environment. Therefore, in this specific process of inhalation, we're going to see that the pleural cavity is going to play a vital role. As we said, there's a fluid which is going to be contained in this particular section, which is going to reduce friction and cushion the lungs against any kind of damage that may come across due to this process of inhalation. And that is going to ensure that air rich in oxygen has been taken into the lungs, and of course this is going to be taken into the process of course the alveoli, and then into the blood streams that we have mentioned in our earlier video. So in our next video, we're going to look at the exclusive description of the gaseous exchange, which is exhalation, and how the movement of the lungs and the outside environment is going to facilitate this particular process of intake of air. Now, overall, the breathing mechanism is going to be facilitated by the change in the size of the thoracic cavity. And of course, there are also by the atmospheric pressure differences that is going to be experienced between the inside the environment and the outside, as we have as said. So catch us in our next video, as we're going to look at the exhalation in our exclusive video, and that is going to play a vital role in trying to assist us understand the overall gas exchange mechanism in the lungs and man in general. So that is it for now. Bye guys, God bless you. Catch us in our next video.